The modules were so thorough and I could go through them at my own pace. I can go back still to this day and review them, look through them, and you keep adding resources. Everything was so comprehensive and thorough. I don't see other people doing that. They have one component or another component, or they're doing kind of the motivational piece with webinars or blogs or podcasts. But in terms of the way you keep adding resources, that's pretty amazing.
I would say if you're even thinking about starting a CashPT practice, or if you're in the beginning stages of starting your practice, I highly recommend getting the CashPT Blueprint. It has everything that you need to lay out all the steps needed, as well as it's going to be a continuous resource for you along the way. You're going to constantly have people to reach out to, as well as Aaron, to ask questions as you go through the hiccups of starting your own business.
It's a very, very thorough program for any either new person trying to open their own practice or someone who's currently running a practice that's not successful, to get great resources and support as you move through being a practice owner, a physical therapy practice owner. Yeah.
As you start your own practice, there are so many things to do that there's no need to be wasting time looking for what do I need and what is it that I have to do. Oh, marketing, you are wearing 9 hats in one as a sole practice owner. And so the CashPT Blueprint really just points everything out and says, for this hat, you have to do this. And for the marketing hat, you have to do this. And for the clinician hat, make sure you do this. The billing hat, you do this. And so the CashPT Blueprint really is an excellent sort of a place where you can make sure you address every one of those areas in your practice.
Definitely a benefit to our business. And personally, I've learned a lot. And like I said, it's not something you find in a textbook from PT school or anywhere else for that matter. So it was very resourceful to do so.
Prior to starting the CashPT Blueprint, I was starting at ground zero with my practice. And here we are a year and a half later. I'm seeing 15 to 20 clients per week and anywhere from 65 to 75 clients per month. About 6 months ago, raised my rates, and that's generated well over $1,500 in increased revenue per month. And I really owe this to implementing everything that I've learned in the CashPT model, whether it be marketing, having confidence to raise your rates, and having confidence to know that you can offer a valuable service to potential clients.
So when people are just getting started and they're asking about the CashPT Blueprint program, I basically tell them it's a no-brainer. You're going to need help, whether you think you will or not, because there are just so many things to learn and so many things to know. I definitely recommend to people that they just invest in themselves from the beginning. It's so much easier if you start these things from the very beginning and you set up these systems to be successful right at the start. And then that gives you the opportunity to really push forward with solid systems in place. It saves you time and money, and it saves you stress. So the CashPT Blueprint really helps with that. I would really recommend just don't wait. It's an investment that you will definitely get back 100 times.
I highly recommend it. I just finished talking to someone who I was singing Aaron's praises because, more specifically, it gives you a philosophy on how important and valuable you are, and gives you a working system on how to deliver your services better. And so when you have an outline to follow, it's much easier than if you're trying to create it on your own.
It's going to save you time. It's going to give you resources through, not just when you first get it, but continued resources. And then you have access to a Facebook group, which is a community of everyone who's doing the same thing, which you can get questions answered really quickly, or you can get critical feedback, which is very helpful. It's going to be worth your cost within 6 months, I would argue, for that first cost that you end up putting out. So you're going to get way more than you realize. I know the big chunk of change. At first, you always look at it and you're skeptical, but I can tell you, I was skeptical, but I definitely know I get my money's worth, because every time I go back on, I listen to a video. There's ideas that will just come to me because I'm listening to someone else talk about it. And those usually generate 3 new patients, and you times that by X amount of weeks, easily pays for itself.
I would recommend Aaron's CashPT program because of great mentorship, a community of professionals that he brings together to help you along the way, and because it's a really quick, easy solution to get started.
I was a physical therapist and a clinician beforehand, and this taught me some of those fundamental skills of being a businessman. And one of those is being a salesman, and primarily, and I think it's in the second or third module of the blueprint, Aaron talks about, he calls it the mirror test. And the mirror test is telling someone your name, or you're doing this in front of the mirror and you say, hey, my name is Dr. Jim Hefner, I'm a physical therapist, and I charge $125 per session. Likely, the person on the other side of that mirror, if you grew up in the Midwest like me, you're saying, well, that's a lot of money for a physical therapy visit. But it's actually having the confidence to say that, and then also knowing that you can back that up with proper treatment. It's simple skills like that that make the blueprint worth all the money that it is.
I would recommend the CashPT blueprint to any healthcare or wellness professional that wants to go in business for themselves. So whether you're a physical therapist, occupational therapist, speech therapist, massage therapist, personal trainer, if you want to, go the entrepreneurial route and you want to own your own business and you don't want to have to rely on referrals from doctors or referrals from even other people and just wait for those people to call. If you want to directly get to your patients or your clients, that's who I would recommend this program to.
I would recommend Aaron's CashPT Blueprint program because it gives you the framework for understanding how to start a business in the physical therapy world step by step to allow for you to have personal growth as well as business growth.